All right, guys, we are going to go through our photosynthesis and cellular respiration worksheet here. Hopefully the link worked when it pulled it up here, that you can still make these annotations and markups like you normally would. But we're going to go through this together, and you will notice that some of it is already filled out. I figured it would be easier for me to write in the equations than trying to type those in and make them all work. And then I also included the specific organelles that these processes are found in. Okay, so we are essentially just labeling this diagram, showing how photosynthesis and cellular respiration work together, what they need, so those raw materials that go into each of those processes, and then what they produce, so what comes out. So this first one we have happening in the chloroplast organelle, and this process is photosynthesis. So we're just going to put a little text box here, and I'm just typing in photosynthesis. Obviously, you guys should be familiar with Cami. You can make this bigger or smaller if you want, change the color if you would like as well. But that is this process. Then, as you can see, this big equation is considered a chemical equation, and it has balanced compounds and materials that are needed. So this includes 6 carbon dioxide molecules plus 6 water molecules plus sunlight to get the process started. And it produces, so this arrow represents what it produced or what it's a result of, this C6H12O6, which is the glucose molecule, and it also produces 6 oxygen molecules. So that is important. If we go down to this 5 and 6 box, this whole process in this little chloroplast here is photosynthesis. So it produces that glucose and that oxygen. And up at the word bank, you can see those formulas as well, and it represents that glucose and oxygen. So we're going to put glucose. You don't need to worry about the equation as long as you have the words, okay? So glucose and oxygen are produced from photosynthesis. Now, if we scroll down a little bit, glucose and oxygen go into the process of cellular respiration. Now, this occurs in the mitochondrion or the mitochondria, plural, of the cells. And that's why they're sometimes called the powerhouse of the cell, because this is where that energy is being created and more things are being converted and broken down. So the equation for cellular respiration then is essentially the products of that photosynthesis producing what the photosynthesis needs. So we have that glucose molecule again, the C6H12O6, and then the 6 oxygen molecules. Again, they produce 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 6 water molecules. They also produce an amount of energy, which for cells is in the form of ATP energy. So this like bang symbol is that energy. We're going to include that it's ATP energy. That's important. And then it also produces carbon dioxide and water. Now, one of the other pieces we forgot here is our little sunshine, which goes into helping photosynthesis occur. So as you can see, through this whole process, photosynthesis and cellular respiration are a continual process. So what goes into photosynthesis, so what plants need are carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. through those chloroplasts, they can convert those materials into glucose, which is a sugar that plants use as a food. And then they also release oxygen, which is what we as living organisms breathe. Now, our body has cells. Those cells have mitochondria, which is where that cellular respiration occurs. So we take in that oxygen, our cells go through the process of breaking it down, using some of that glucose energy and that food sugar. They release more energy, and then it also releases carbon dioxide and water. Now we exhale carbon dioxide, we also sweat, and whether you think you do or not, you have little like water molecules and droplets with your spit and if you sneeze, so that is a way that we can release that water. Then, because we're breathing into the air, plants and trees, grass, they all take in that carbon dioxide that we're breathing, and the process starts all over again. It's very important that we have plants and we have trees to help filter our air, and remove those wastes and take out the carbon dioxide so that we have clean oxygen to breathe. And in turn, we need to make sure we keep breathing so that plants have that carbon dioxide to continue their process and make the food they need and the oxygen we can breathe. So, if you guys have this filled out, you should be able to either share it with me or submit it back on Schoology. If not, you can always just take a screenshot and then share that with me as well. Otherwise, you should be working on your chapter 3.3 to 3.4 review next. Have a good day, guys.